Hi, it's James Willoughby. Welcome to our weekly update. We're reviewing once again the core data for the Austin MSA. As you may recall, we've included new construction since we're seeing a lot of competition there. Builders have caught up. We're seeing a lot of spec homes and so forth. The interesting news for this week is the number of total active listings has remained about the same as last week. In fact, it's two fewer homes this last week, ending on the 16th than it was the week before. So our inventory overall has remained the same. This here represents new listings in the last 7 days. So last week we had 788. This week only 695, so almost 100 fewer listings. And then this represents number of homes going pending. And we had fewer pendings, but not off that much. So what that means is if we go and look at it graphically, and we'll look at the active listing graph here, you can see that we're still in a pretty flat graph. It's been pretty flat for the last several weeks. We're between 9 and 10,000, about 9,600 listings. It's been right there. So that's the good news for sellers. Going to my favorite graph here, new listings versus pendings. As you may recall, the beginning of the year, we were seeing pretty dramatic price increases because there was just such low inventory. The green represents homes coming on the market. The blue represents homes that are going pending each week. So new listings versus new pendings, they crisscrossed in May. This is when interest rates started going up. You can see the big gap between the two of them, which basically means that total inventory was going up. And then you see here towards the end of August, they actually kind of converged again. And now there's still a gap, but it's a way smaller gap. And then you can see this week, the gap actually closed in. When the gap is close, that means the number of listings and the number of new listings versus new pendings is going to keep the active level about the same. Okay. Now keep in mind that there's what we call failed listings. Sorry about scrolling so fast, but failed listings are a part of the equation. So people are taking their home off the market in addition to homes being sold. So it looks like we're going to be in a low inventory, low activity market for the next several months. So the good news is that we're not seeing growth in inventory. The bad news is we're not seeing growth in the number of homes going pending. So once again, those that are pricing their homes correctly are the ones that are seeing most of the activity. You can see price reductions remain pretty much the same, just under 2,000 price reductions per week, which means 1/5 of the market is repricing every single week. So as homes go on, they price them based on what happened last year or beginning of this year, rather. They're realizing that the market isn't there. They're either quitting by withdrawing their listing or they're improving their price because they really want to sell. So we're not in dire straits. We just have to be realistic with what's going on in terms of inventory and so forth. So our weeks of inventory remain very close to the same. We're not quite at 4 months supply. According to Gary Keller, when you're 6 months or more, you're in a buyer's market. 2 months or less, you're in a seller's market. The in-between is more of a balanced market, and we're almost dead in the middle, which means we're almost perfectly balanced. So if your home isn't selling, that only means that we probably need to talk about improving the price. If you've already improved your price and you're getting tired of that, we do have a new program called 72 Sold. Want to explain how that works to you. It's pretty exciting. We've actually revived bunch of listings that weren't selling and got them sold, and we're using that program on new listings, and it's working really, really well. We're seeing a lot of homes selling in 7, 8 days, and people are moving forward with their lives. So I did mention that we're going to talk about the median sales price. This is really looks like almost like a flat graph because it starts with 100,000, where our median price started at over 350. So if we look at my version, the old Jaymes Willoughby version, where I start my graph at 350, it's a more pronounced looking graph. But we are here, these numbers are in the book. So in September, our median sales price was 465. If we go back to December, it was a little bit higher, 465.5. So essentially, we've gained and lost everything that we had this year, and we're at the same place we were in December. I just don't see a lot more price erosion. My prediction is that we'll be pretty level for the rest of the year. So that's good news for sellers, and really, quite frankly, good news for buyers. Hopefully the buyers will understand that, they're not getting any better deal. Sellers are understanding they're not probably getting a better deal either. My theory always has been, if the seller's not happy with their price and the buyer thinks they're paying too much, that's probably the right price. That just means you're at the right price, because neither side is really happy with the outcome, because they both have equally and opposite motivations regarding price. All right, so do call me this week if you have questions about 72 sold. I want to talk about that. And let's get your home sold. Let's get you down the road. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you later.